Welcome back to Elevation Perspective. My name is Mark, joined today with Frank Tropiano and Anthony the Heel Romano. Boys, another wrestling show to talk about today. A pretty small card, only 6 matches on this Clash in Paris card. I guess I'll just start off before we get into this card. What is the excitement level for this event? It feels kind of like a lesser show for the most part with a few big matches. Heel, I'll give you the floor first. How do you feel right now about the show?
Um, I felt more excited for PLEs this year. I'm not going to lie, but it is interesting. This is like our first post SummerSlam event, and I know we really didn't talk much about SummerSlam on this show. So there's so much that has kind of changed in the landscape of WWE in the last 6 to 8 weeks or so. This is our first Seth title defense. Roman Reigns is in a singles match for the first time since the Netflix debut back in January. So some different things happening, which I think could be interesting. But all in all, it's I'd say pretty mediocre. It's as far as hype level.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that he'll probably hit it on the head. We've entered a post SummerSlam lull here. Um, but it's going to be interesting to see. This should really kick things off for the fall. We only have a few more appearances of John Cena left, so we'll get into that. We are going to pass this and then be right on to WrestlePalooza, which I know is a title name of PLE that you guys both love. So,
Well, I was gonna say like it's not really a post SummerSlam lull because I feel like they themselves have made it so that we should be more excited for WrestlePalooza than this one. So it's almost like the look ahead, like this is kind of just happening, and but everyone's looking forward to WrestlePalooza, Brock Lesnar, ESPN, like the whole, like it feels like that's like a reset for their PLEs now.
it
Just
kind of
Just
it kind
regarding Cena, and we'll get into it more once we get to his match. It feels underwhelming in the sense that we had this massive return of Brock Lesnar to end SummerSlam. This is crazy. This is crazy. And then nothing really happened. They kind of teased John will fight someone he hasn't fought in 10 years at WrestlePalooza. Obviously, we all know that is going to be Brock Lesnar. And now he's just fighting Logan Paul kind of semi randomly. I don't know. For me, like the timing, the order, it all just kind of feels weird.
It is kind of weird. It does make a lot of sense, though. They want to hype up this ESPN contract. ESPN is selling the new app, you know what I mean? So the fact that this might be a run of the mill show, and then we get maybe a more explosive show for WrestlePalooza, the first ever WrestlePalooza, um, it makes sense.
All right, let's get into this card. On SmackDown, we had one match added. It was the tag team match between the Street Profits and the champions, the Wyatt Six. This feels like you probably go either way. I mean, the Wyatt Six just won the big match at SummerSlam, so I think smart money has them retaining here, but I wouldn't be shocked at all. Frank, I'll let you go first here. Who do you have winning this match?
Yeah, I mean, we really haven't had a lot of time to think about this. This was literally just announced like minutes ago, right? So we're giving like live reactions right now. My heart says the Street Profits, but my head unfortunately is saying the Wyatt Six. So I think I'm gonna go with the Wyatt Six. I think I see them just retaining. They kind of need to start building something with these championships now. They've done a really good job of making it meaningful while still playing hot potato with them. But now someone's going to have to keep them for a little bit of time. And the Wyatt Six, I think, makes the most sense to keep them for a long time, given the 5-4 men advantage that they have on any given match.
Yeah, that makes sense. Nothing you said there is wrong. I would rather see the Street Profits have the belts, so I will probably pick them just for that reason alone. I think they're more entertaining. Um, but yeah, I mean, we're kind of in that stretch here where the tag team division on SmackDown is so prosperous right now, but also it's like, all right, any of these matches, any of these teams really could win. I mean, there'd be no issue if the Street Profits won this match and just got the titles back, right? So it's kind of like what Frank said, like what storylines are going to develop that are beyond just who's the championship? Like what is the story of the Wyatt Six? And maybe that's what we find out. Maybe this match helps to build that.
Yeah, that's a good point. I feel like we're still pretty confused on their motives, on what they're doing. I know it's all like the creepy presentation and everything, but why do they want the tag titles? Which is kind of a problem that a lot of people had with Bray Wyatt when he was the Fiend. Like, why does he want the Universal Championship? It doesn't really make sense for his character. And this is the same thing to a lesser extent, of course, with the tag team titles. But that all makes sense. I'm going to say here that the Wyatts retain and the Street Profits break up. I think this has just been, and they've been a great tag team. They've been a great tag team for a very long time, but it's stale. They've like kind of teased them turning heel. They might be heels right now for all I know, but I feel like
I think they are.
they're like kind of like walking the line where like they still get cheer. They don't really do like
Yeah.
crazy heel things, but they're not really faces either. I feel like it's time. I feel like they've kind of given us a few teases of Montez Ford before, like look how talented this guy is. He could be a true star if he breaks singles. Unfortunately, Dawkins is great too, but I feel like we've seen this so many times with these two guys in a tag team where it's very clear which one the money's in, and it's Montez Ford. So I think it's probably time to break them up, and hopefully they have a really good plan for one or both of them.
I don't hate that at all. I mean, I think we see on a weekly basis really what both of them are capable of. But I mean, Tez last week was just doing some crazy stuff all over the place. He's all over their highlight reels. He's all over their social media. Um, I don't know. I like it. I don't know if I see it happening, but I like it.
I would hope that in the case that they do give Dawkins something, you know what I mean? I think there's no reason he can't hold down a mid card role in WWE. He's definitely talented enough. You saw it with the what do they call the move where he literally backflips himself into a table, although you know, it's somebody else's move. He's the one jumping and flipping in the air as well. So, in that TLC match, is it the Spanish Fly? Was it the Spanish Fly? I always get the moves confused. But yeah, I hope they give him something because I think he's pretty talented too.
Our next match here, we have Nikki Bella taking on the champion, the Intercontinental Champion, Becky Lynch. This has been fun. I've enjoyed the time that Nikki's been back. I feel like it's been a solid little run here. Frank, I'll let you go first on this one. Who do you have winning this match?
This is tough. This is really tough because like I want to say Nikki Bella and like I think it's time for this title to change hands, but I think they're gonna keep it on Becky Lynch. I'm taking Becky Lynch here.
Yeah, I think this is for sure Becky Lynch. I mean, we just had the whole thing with Lyra that's finally in the rear view. This is way more of like a legend type challenge for Becky. This is once again like a step up for the women's IC title. Like uh, I think that Becky's just going to continue her run here. Maybe Nikki eventually. Like maybe this is we have a couple of matches between them. But I think that this is Becky getting a signature win over a Hall of Famer, right? Nikki's in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, no, I feel that same way where this is like a big match kind of feel. I think you guys agree with me. I was really preaching for this to be the match at SummerSlam because I didn't really want to see that match again. So I was like, it makes a lot of sense. We have Nikki Bella right there, but I guess this was always kind of the plan there. I'm in agreement. I think Becky definitely wins this match, continues her title reign, and hopefully Nikki sticks around. I don't know if the plan is for Nikki to kind of be done after this or whatever it might be, but hopefully she sticks around. I've enjoyed this little run she's been on. Our next match here, we have Sheamus versus Rusev in a good old-fashioned Donnybrook match. Heel, you have to go first on this one for sure. Who do you have winning this match and why?
I don't know. I mean, these guys are fun. Like it's just a fight, fella. I listened to Sheamus. He was on Rosenberg's podcast, Cheap Heat, and he just talks about how he just loves doing this, man. He loves wrestling. He loves a good old. He loves storytelling in the ring. Like he doesn't have to have a crazy promo leading up to it. He thinks that a match can tell a story, and these two have kind of proved that over the last couple of months. Like I don't think anyone's really lining up outside the gates to see a Sheamus versus Rusev microphone promo. They just want to see them wrestle each other. And here we go again. What did you call it? What is the match going to be?
It's a good old-fashioned Donnybrook match.
Yeah, it's probably going to be awesome. I'll take Rusev just because I mean this is his first like official feud since returning, and he kind of has to win it if we're going to take him seriously going forward. Otherwise, I feel like he'll just slip back into irrelevancy. So yeah, I'll take Rusev here.
Yeah, I think that this is my lock of the night. I think Rusev is the guy here. You just can't have him lose this match, right? Like Heel said, what was the point of bringing him back if he was going to lose a good old fashioned Donnybrook match to Sheamus? Yeah, I got Rusev.
Yeah, it's another clean sweep. It makes no sense for Rusev to lose this match. My question here, I guess, I'll kind of raise it to the whole crowd. Do you foresee a world where Rusev is in a real world title picture? Maybe not right after this, but at some point in the not too distant future. Could Rusev be a number one contender for Seth Rollins or number one contender for Cody Rhodes?
This is such a difficult question
Yeah.
because it's a twofold question. One, do you believe he can do that? And the answer to that question for me is absolutely yes. I do believe he could be in that role. Two, there are so many people. Will he be one of the people in line for that role? And that's where I struggle. To be like, there are so many people at the top. We talk about Drew McIntyre on the show all the time, right? Like how he needs a championship. He just doesn't have a championship. And he's like super high up in line and he just doesn't have a championship. So I truthfully don't know if he can get to that status just because the amount of people that are in that echelon of like needing a championship. And we're getting Braun Breaker there. And I mean, Bronson Reed's about to fight Roman Reigns, so we know what they think about him. There are guys on SmackDown. Priest held a championship already. They haven't really done much with him, but I'm sure that that's a guy that they'd like to keep floating around there. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of guys in line for a world title shot. And I don't know. So I think my answer is going to be no, he's not going to be in that position, but not because of his own talent.
I think he could absolutely get a title shot. I don't think he's winning a title anytime soon or ever, but I don't know. It's one of those things where like he could get one like on an episode of Raw and it wouldn't shock me. I don't know if we're necessarily crafting a PLE match for him.
Yeah.
He could be in a multi-man match. He could end up in like the Elimination Chamber or something, which maybe wouldn't be for the title necessarily, but you know what I mean. Like he could be in that picture, and we're already seeing it on Raw. Like we've got a four-way with guys like LA Knight, who hasn't necessarily been in the world title picture except for like one other match in his career. So he's kind of worked his way into the mix. Jey Uso, who obviously has had the world championship, but is now firmly in that mix now. So I don't know. I feel like on Raw, like they might be willing to experiment a little bit. I mean, we can't have CM Punk in every title match, can we? Like, I love him, but if he's not going to win, I don't know. Maybe they eventually do try something different and try something with Rusev.
Good points for sure. Our next match here, we have the OTC 1 Roman Reigns taking on the Tribal Thief Bronson Reed. As you said, Heel, this is the first Roman singles match since the debut on Netflix in January. That's a crazy statistic. It feels so not out of the blue because they have built up this story of Bronson stealing his shoes and all this. So like it is a told story to a degree, but it just feels so random to see Roman Reigns in a singles match, not for a title. Like it just feels like a very odd match.
Yeah, listen, I'm entertained by it. The first time I heard the Shula Fala, I gave a nice hearty chuckle at that. So, it's hard, right? Because it's like Bronson's character is kind of comedic, but at the same time, like we're clearly supposed to take this seriously. Like he's in a singles match with Roman Reigns, right? It doesn't get more serious than that. So, um, he obviously is a guy that could dish out quite a bit of damage. Um, I don't see him beating Roman Reigns in a singles match. That would be pretty insane if that were to happen. But this could be a spot for him to look really strong, hit a couple of tsunamis. Frank's gonna pop hard for Michael Cole's announcements, and I don't know. It's hard to even predict like shenanigans, right? Because the other guys are all, maybe I'm sure Braun Breaker will get involved, but like that's tied up on this card. So I don't know. I don't know how it's gonna go.
Yeah, I tell you what, I would love to see Bronson Reed win this match. And like to Heel's point, like I don't even know how it would be possible, but like I don't know how we get there. Like I don't know how we protect Roman Reigns that much that he's taking a 1, 2, 3.
I mean, it would have to be Braun Breaker coming in
It would have to be
and
like three
helping.
spears and seven tsunamis.
Yeah. which
So
could happen.
So Braun interfering with this match could be the catalyst of Roman interfering with the Fatal Four Way and things just going absolutely off the rails and crazy. Definitely a possibility if they want to go that route. I can't see Roman losing as well. It just doesn't make sense to me. But I suppose if they really want to do it and they can have it in a way that Braun gets in there and Paul distracts the ref, like it's possible. It just doesn't feel very likely.
I think I hope that this match leads us into a more concrete path for where Roman Reigns is going. Like what is Roman Reigns' future with the Vision, this new stable? Like is are we leading towards a Roman versus Seth Rollins WrestleMania match? Or are we leading towards a Roman versus Ron Breaker WrestleMania match? Or are we leaning towards Roman having nothing to do with this group and doing something else as we kind of turn the page into 2026? Like what is the long-term vision, no pun intended, for Roman and this group? And like does something happen in this match to continue that along? Because I mean in just like a month or two, like we have so many people who are now intertwined with Seth's faction that are going to want a piece of this title as long as he has it. Like obviously it's CM Punk, obviously it's LA Knight, Jey Uso now is pretty much in that mix. So I don't know. I hope something happens that leads us to the future.
I think you bring up a really good point, and I think we arrive at the duality between the pre-TKO years and the current TKO years that we're in WWE. Because pre-TKO, they would just do Roman versus Seth. Like the Shield triple threat match happened at what? Was it Battleground? Right? Like they didn't wait. Like if the story dictated, they just did it, which is one of the things that I really appreciated um about that. And it might feel like, yes, we need to get all of these, like we need to get Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. It's like, yeah, that's fair. But then we have what's happening now, and it's like, okay, right now it's working. The Shula Fala, the tribal thief, like it's all working out great, right? How long can we do it? I think to Heel's point, because we can't do it till WrestleMania. It's gonna grow tiresome for Roman Reigns. So could we do that match at Survivor Series? Could we do that match at the Royal Rumble? Do we have to wait to headline a night of WrestleMania? And like I get it, WrestleMania should be where the biggest matches are, but it just feels like if we're gonna make them wait and draw that out for so long, it might not even be worth it at that point.
I think a big factor with all of this too is Roman's limited schedule. So whatever story he's in, whatever kind of they can't really be direct with it, I don't think, because it will kind of go too fast. So they have to kind of keep this kind of mystery behind it and see what's Roman gonna do next. Find out next month when he's on TV again. So it's a tough situation. I do agree with you, Heel. I hope that we have some kind of clarity post this match. I do think at this point that's got to be a big four for sure. The Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins singles match. Mania is very far away. By then, that could be Braun Breaker taking that belt off of Seth Rollins, and they can have that match at Mania. That's definitely a possibility as well. But it's too big of a match to just randomly do at one of these shows. I think maybe WrestlePalooza. Maybe that's the big match they want to do it there, which would be kind of terrible. But if they're really going to play this up like a WrestleMania caliber event with the ESPN situation, Brock Lesnar versus John Cena, they're going up against AEW. There's a lot of variables there, so it's possible.
Yeah, and the other thing too is it's like you get Roman in a singles match for a championship. Like, yeah, is he gonna lose that match? Right? It's like you start to really go down the list of like what is Roman's kind of spot in the hierarchy right now? Because like he's kind of just his own entity at this point. Like he doesn't need the championship anymore. But if he's going to be involved with a championship feud, you would expect him to win. So I don't know. That does make you want to watch, but then it also frustrates you when he's not there. So
I think another thing that really heavily plays out on the outcome of this match is when is Roman like is do we have Roman now until Survivor Series, or do we have to write him off? Because if we have to write him off, then again, Braun Breaker gets involved, 8 spears, 80 tsunamis, and we can make it believable, and then we don't see Roman again for months. But then when he comes back, he's got to come back and do the same comeback that he did the first time that he did. It's a mess. It really is a mess, and it's really tough for the long-term story. Like I get it, like he's negotiated to get to the point that he's in, and good for him. I've been rooting for him the whole way, but it does make things really, really tough. And so like are they just gonna have Roman win and then they're just gonna like beat him up after the match, and then again, we're in the same spot that we were in the first time he returned, right? So I don't know.
Next up here on the card, I am very frustrated here. I think I'm gonna voice my displeasure. I think Heel will agree with me, and Frank will have some kind of retort. It's John Cena versus Logan Paul. I feel like this entire John Cena farewell tour has been butchered so badly. And I know that's kind of the general consensus on the heel turn itself, but the heel turn, tremendous moment. The run itself, really lackluster. And my problem there was during the heel run is when we got all the big matches that we wanted, the CM Punk, the Randy Orton. And now we're at the back end of this. He's a face now. Again, the face turn was terrible. It was just, I decided that Cody's right. I am a good guy now. There was not really a lot of motivation or believability there. It was kind of just like, okay, John's good again, whatever. And now we're looking at the back end here, and we have Brock Lesnar in our back pocket. Sure, that's a big time match. It'll be exciting, but we're doing Logan Paul here. There's probably one or two more opponents here, maybe a Dom Mysterio, maybe a Braun Breaker, but I am overall just so underwhelmed by this entire John Cena farewell tour.
Yeah, I mean, you hit it on the head. I just didn't. I didn't think that they were going to end it so abruptly. Talking about the heel turn on an episode of SmackDown before SummerSlam, he just comes out and tells the crowd, "I'm a good guy now." Like it felt like a slap in the face because it's like, listen, I get it, right? Me and 50 million others predicted the final boss at every turn to turn this into a story that was worth following, right? And maybe I still will. Who knows? We'll get to it, but for there to be zero payoff, like it's one thing if I mean I know Travis Scott went to WrestleMania, whatever, but to never have The Rock show up again after the night he turned heel, and then to have it end that way, like he could have just had it end in the match. He could have turned face in the match, like that.
Yeah.
That's the thing that could have happened, and it would have been fine. I still probably would have had gripes with it because that's just who I am.
And
But it
we
still
were
would.
we were all theorizing like all these possibilities, like it's got to be a work. This is too silly to be real. Like John just came out there, he's like,
Right,
"You are
right,
right. I am. Like this is not me." And it's like, all right, so John's full of it. Like you said, The
right.
Rock will come out. Something's going to happen in this match. Nothing happened. It's just like you said. It's insulting. It is insulting the entire thing.
I'll let Frank go, but that promo made me think, all right, maybe John's winning against Cody, and like this is going to be part of a furthering of like this is the most interesting heel thing he's done yet is make everyone think he went good, and now but he didn't do it. So
I will say this. I don't disagree with everything you guys are saying. The two, however, best moments of his run so far, easily by far, was A, the heel turn, and then B, the match with Cody. The match with Cody was unbelievable from start to finish. And like I know like you're right, it was a slap in the face. The face turn was lackluster. When he was wrestling that match, like doing John Cena, like when he was being John Cena in that match, it was just awesome. Like I don't know, like that was my one of my favorite matches of this year. I think it might be my favorite match of this year, besides for maybe Elimination Chamber. And again, Elimination Chamber was great because he turned heel right after.
it was
So
it was it was a great match, Frank. But just think, if he had turned face mid match, how
I
much
agree.
better it could have been.
I agree, and I'm curious what happened there that they didn't feel like they could tell that story during the match. Like, was it we know Brock's coming back now, so we want to make that the big deal of the night? Because I think that's a poor decision. Or was it all right? We've called The Rock. He doesn't feel like showing up to SummerSlam in the Meadowlands. Like, John, just go out there. Like, it's time to give the people what they want. They wanted you to be a babyface. Like, just go do it. Let's save the last few months of this run. Um, I'm curious.
I think option C is maybe they felt like they couldn't do that without also turning Cody heel, which they obviously didn't do. We kind of all assumed this would end with a big double turn at some point, and that didn't happen. Cody ended SummerSlam as a babyface.
Look, it makes sense. I don't blame them for not turning Cody. I would don't get me wrong. I would have loved to see it, but Cody's the guy. Like Cody is the face of the company. They're not just going to turn him heel for even for just John Cena's farewell tour, like they're gonna need it to run out. You know what I mean? Like they're gonna need the magic to run out of Cody Rhodes before they turn him heel. So I get it. I get why they didn't do that. The heel turn was amazing. Everything after was not great. I'm glad he's a babyface for these last few months, though. Like I'm ready to focus on this. He's cut some great promos on Logan Paul, and I think it's unfair almost, like giving him somebody like Logan Paul to cut promos on because it's probably just that easy. You know what I mean? He apologized to the kid he made fun of today, so at like the first night that he was like doing promos, so that was fun. But yeah, no, it wasn't the greatest run. I just am not ready to say it's the worst thing ever because it hasn't ended yet.
I never thought I'd be like checked out. And I'm not checked out. I'll get back in when it's Cena and Brock, but like I'm just so turned off by this. And I think you made some comments a few months back when he was doing the subpar heel run, just kind of saying like, I'm good here. Like I'm okay when John leaves, like whatever. And I was like, come on, how could you say that? And now I'm sitting here and like I said, I'll regret these words at some point, but it's like I don't care at all about Cena and Logan. Like it's just I don't know. I'm frustrated. Like I said, the heel turn, like you said, Frank, was amazing, but never explained. We needed The Rock to do something. He was never seen again on TV. The face turn was terrible and never really properly explained. Besides the "you're right, I'm good now," and
Can we
yeah, I'm
also
just
talk about our truth? I mean, what was our truth? Our truth was a whole waste of time.
it was all a waste of time.
I mean, you know what it is? They want you to believe there's so much going on behind the scenes and WWE Unreal and all this stuff. And when you look back at the last like 6 months of what John Cena did, it's like, did you have any idea of what was going on? Did you have any, was any of this planned, or you just decided to wing it and oh, we'll see what happens? I mean, we had to hear about all 6 phone calls you made on the day of to say, but
Who
where did it
who they
go?
make those phone calls to, heel?
Yeah, half the
Who
guys
they
are
make those phone
half
calls
the
to?
guys are now being sabotaged in the media.
We have Travis Scott, we have Nick
There,
Khan, we have
Nick Khan.
Cody, we have John. Who else? There's one more, I think.
Dwayne got
Dwayne.
the phone calls.
So Hunter called 5 people. Is that the number?
Five, and then Hunter himself. That's six. There you go.
All right,
I
he's a
think
part
six
of it.
people knew.
Six people knew.
But it's like you're going to tell us all this. You're going to tell us all the behind the scenes stuff, and then it just fizzles out. And Frank is right. They had a great match. It was probably the best match maybe in WWE all year. It was great. It was
What
phenomenal
probably one of John's best matches ever. Not even just
Yeah.
this.
ever,
Yeah,
ever.
truthfully.
But that doesn't that by its we can have that on one side and also say everything that came before it just felt like a complete waste of time. And yeah, I mean, you know what though? Maybe this is just going to be one of those things where we're not going to look back at the John Cena farewell tour very fondly. His career will be his career, and it'll be like Game of Thrones. We'll just be like, just don't watch the last year of it.
I still think they have time to put on a few good matches here. I know it's winding down quickly, but he's got the match against Logan Paul. Logan Paul can obviously go. We know that. Brock Lesnar is coming up, and then I hope that he finds his way into the War Games match. I think a prime John Cena would have loved the War Games match. You know what I mean? Like that would have been his thing. Like either entering first or entering last, and I don't know, would have got a big pop. But I hope he finds his way into the War Games match, and then whoever they decide to put him out against, there's still some opportunities for some memorable moments here.
With all that being said, I have John Cena winning this match. I think he will win every match going forward until that final farewell match. Frank, who do you have winning?
Yeah, I'm gonna take John here too. I can't take Logan Paul, especially not right before Brock Lesnar. They're not gonna have him lose that match.
I disagree with Mark's statement that he's going to win every match. I don't think that's going to happen. I hope I should amend that. I hope that doesn't happen because that would be even more boring. I hope something happens here to at least give us something to chew on. Whether it's I don't know if he's necessarily going to lose to Logan. He could maybe lose to Brock. I could see that being something that happens. But give us something here that 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 gets us to Brock, right? Because we had the little thing from was it Nick Aldis who was like, I've heard from Brock Lesnar, and then Logan Paul took him out the other day. Like, I don't know. I don't know if Lesnar and Logan Paul are in cahoots. I don't know if they're both working for the final boss.
All right, all right.
But
New
give me
rule. New
Give,
rule on our podcast.
give
No one
me
is allowed to say the
something.
final boss. No one is
Give
allowed to say the
give
final
give
boss.
me something. Give me a through line. Give me like this is just the beginning of what John Cena has to go through to get to December. Make this an arduous path for him rather than just a la di da di da. We're gonna beat Logan Paul and everyone's gonna cheer for me. I mean, they could do that. Wouldn't be surprised, but to me, I would be much more entertained if John Cena actually had to fight a battle, an uphill climb, and emerge victorious before he goes out.
So you will take Logan then, heel?
No, I'm going to take John Cena, but I think that it wouldn't shock me if he lost. I think he's going to lose to either Logan or Brock.
Yes or no? Simple. Heel, you first. Do we see Brock Lesnar on this show?
This is in France.
Yes.
I didn't think of this. I didn't even think it was a possibility that he could be there.
That's
I will
probably
say
Logan's path to winning.
I will say no. I think he's going to be their ESPN guy. This is their Peacock send off. I don't. I don't think they want to give Peacock Brock Lesnar. I think they're saving him for ESPN.
That makes sense.
I think also no. I'm going to say if someone gets involved on this match on behalf of Logan Paul, it's going to be Drew McIntyre, and we are going to plant the seeds for John Cena's final match against Drew McIntyre.
I like that.
Okay, that makes sense. Just looking at this card as a whole, it feels very predictable to me. So I feel like maybe this match and the Fatal 4-Way, like something crazy really has to happen here. A lot of these matches by the books, we're kind of going clean sweeps on a lot of these too, and I feel like they know that going in. So that makes sense. So we will all take John to win, but there is some opportunity for shenanigans there. And our main event, the last match here, Fatal 4-Way. This should probably be the match of the night, I would think. World Heavyweight Champion Seth Rollins taking on CM Punk, Jey Uso, and LA Knight. On the surface, I think Seth retains, but there are variables here. Heel, you go first here. What do you think happens here?
Um, I would like to just say how I've enjoyed the build to this match. With that being said, I do think, as Frank kind of alluded to earlier, they need to figure out different ways to end Raw without just it devolving into everyone fighting each other every episode. That being said, they've done a good job of telling the story of, well, these three can't coexist with each other. They none of them are on the same page. They obviously are not singularly focused on winning the title from Seth, and Seth is going to use that to his advantage. That's at least the story that they're portraying. What I've at least enjoyed is the fact that they're actually willing to let the three baby faces kind of go at each other. I mean, there's clear that CM Punk and LA Knight have no love lost. And then the other day was my favorite moment of Jey Uso in the last year, where he turned on both of them, and it was like, wow, like Jey Uso actually like is doing something interesting. He's not just yeeting. Like this is a legitimate like advancement of his character, and like him showing that he cares about like what's happening in the ring, and like, man, like I gotta fight for myself here. I'm not just here to throw my hands around and yeah, all the baby faces will get the crowd going. Like that was what I wanted to see. So credit to him, credit to them for making me care at least a little bit about what they're doing here. That being said, I will pick Seth to retain, but I'm interested. They got me.
France has proven itself to be a very like intelligent wrestling like crowd, right? That being said, I think if LA Knight were to somehow pull this off, they would lose their minds. Like I think it would be probably one of like a top 5 reaction like maybe we've ever seen. Like I think they would lose their minds. And I've been trying to do these mental gymnastics to figure out how. Like how could LA Knight win this match? How could we take the title off of Seth Rollins after a month? And then I realized I can't think of a way that it's going to happen. That being said, if a non-Seth Rollins competitor wins, it's going to be LA Knight. That I feel comfortable saying. They're not going to go back to Jey Uso. I think he has the least chance. And I don't think they give it back to CM Punk here. I don't think that would make it ton of sense to just give it right back to him in the Fatal 4-Way match. So if a non-Seth Rollins competitor is going to win, it's going to be LA Knight. I just can't get myself there with any of these three guys, to be completely honest with you. But if you're asking me who I want to see win this match, it's LA Knight.
It makes sense. I don't see a world either. Seth Rollins just cashed in. He just won this briefcase. I will say it's cool that Jey Uso and LA Knight in the same degree are both still in title pictures at this stage where I don't think it really happened to LA Knight, but of course there was a lot of negative reaction toward Jey Uso, not between everyone, but enough pushback there. I feel like some of us thought once he dropped that belt, it was going to be over for him in the world title picture. And he's hovered around it. He's still been in prominent storylines. I think that's pretty cool because you're continuing to establish this star. And maybe like Heel said, this was a big moment for him in his Jey Uso watching where he did more than just eat. Like it felt like he wasn't a robot. There was some emotion. There was actually some kind of progression, some storytelling, and I appreciated that as well. So I will say, just in the terms of continuing to build stars and build guys who can be in the main event picture, they've done a good job with both LA Knight and Jey Uso.
Yeah, and I feel like for once we have a Jey Uso story that's not just how can he overcome these monumental odds of this tag team guy. Like we're now treating Jey Uso like he's a main event caliber wrestler, and the storyline is not that these are these insurmountable odds. It's can he coexist with these guys who previously we thought were maybe his friends or that he previously in the past would have been buddy buddy with. Um, I like the fact that even if maybe I don't necessarily believe it myself, they are treating him like this is an equal playing field.
Yeah.
Whereas the whole feud with Gunther was just, I mean, we went through it obviously, but it just never felt. I never bought into what they were trying to tell us was happening on the screen.
All right, boys, that's the card. I think from a wrestling standpoint, it should be pretty awesome. I think a lot of these matches they're going to be a lot of fun. The results kind of feel mostly predictable, but you never know. They could throw in something crazy. That's going to do it for us. Hopefully, everyone has a great day, and thank you so much for watching.